I want you to picture a 21-year-old man, boy, long-haired, with a goatee beard, enthusiastic, yet maybe a tad naive, a bit on the socially awkward side, still living at home with his mum and his dad, while trying to start a business where the customers that he was trying to attract were of the average age of about 35 years old, and they all had their own business. Got the picture in your mind? Well, that was me. And that was one of the things that got me into the world of understanding body language, human connection, influence skills. Basically, it was me in a desperate attempt to find a way to be taken seriously in the world of business and be able to win people over. So yes, I am fascinated by body language, but for me, it was never so much about telling if somebody was lying. For me, it all started by being able to understand myself and how I was being seen by others, so that I could connect with people better and be more successful in my business. In all of the information I've consumed, there have been many studies that show that body language plays a critical role in business success. For example, there was a study that was done by Salesforce that found that high-performing sales teams are about 2.8 times more likely to excel at communication skills, and this included the non-verbal cues compared to the underperforming teams. As I say in every single one of the trainings that I do, your ability to communicate will be directly related to how skilled, how competent, and how capable people see you as being. It's going to have an impact on how good they see your ideas as being. The list goes on. You see, you could be the best, you could have the best product, you could have the best idea, but if you're not able to convey that in a way through how you connect with others and how you communicate, then your ideas, they're going to be a bit like a boat that is lost at sea. Over the years, I have consumed as much as I can find on the topic of body language, human skills, communication, influence from experts like Robert Cialdini, Joe Navarro, Mark Bowden, Chase Hughes, Greg Hartley, Scott Rouse, and that's just a few of the names. In actual fact, the last 4 people that I named, they have a channel on YouTube called The Behavior Panel, which if you are into decoding body language, I highly recommend that you jump over there and check out their channel. But what I want to share with you in this video are 5 concepts or ideas that I have found useful over the years that have helped me when it comes to how I communicate with more charisma and more persuasion. Now, as I've mentioned in a previous video, and this is really important, what I'm going to share with you in this video are ideas. These are just concepts. Your job is to take these ideas and concepts and then make them part of who you are, and not just some little YouTube trick that you go out there and you do. So it needs to become part of who you are, not something that you do. I hope that makes sense. So let's get into it. So first up, don't be scared to take up space. Confident people, they are comfortable taking up space. Their body language, it will generally be more open, it'll be more expansive. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to become one of those people who tries to dominate space. There is a big difference between using space and dominating space. When it comes to dominating space, to give you a visual, think of that person, they put their arm over the chairs, they've got their stuff everywhere, and in some cases, they've even got that sort of attitude look on their face. To be honest with you, what you're normally going to find with these people is that they're hiding massive insecurities. So let's look at this idea. From my case, when I had the business, when customers or clients would come into the workshop, I would move towards them with intent and hold myself in a confident way. So confident people, they don't mind taking up space. Research has shown this. Expansive body language has been associated with increased feelings of confidence and assertiveness. For instance, studies have shown that expansive postures can help individuals feel more powerful and perform more effectively in stressful situations. Second thing is eye contact. Confident and charismatic people, they are comfortable making eye contact with others. Now, this doesn't mean that they lock on with a hard stare and don't break eye contact. What I mean here is confident and charismatic people are comfortable locking eyes when it's appropriate. Now, in saying this, there are some cultures and also some people that are maybe a little bit neurodivergent who don't make eye contact. However, for most of the people who will watch this video, this is something that I want you to get really comfortable with. And now a little bonus tip here that was taught to me maybe about 8 years ago by someone who is a regular on camera is when making eye contact, just imagine that you've got a little secret in the back of your mind. This causes your gaze to soften and be more inviting. The third tip is to get really good at small talk. Now, many people say that they hate small talk. They feel that it's a complete waste of time. However, after working with a lot of people, what I've found is that people who say that they don't like small talk It's normally just an excuse because they feel uncomfortable doing it. When I work events, I spend a good portion of my time meeting new people, and small talk becomes a big part of what I do to connect with other people. Small talk is the social glue. It's what has to happen before we move into those more compelling and more interesting conversations. In saying this about small talk, I am currently putting together a free short course, free short training on mastering small talk, which will be released in the very near future on my website. In the meantime, what I'm going to suggest is that you subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to be announcing it in a future video once it is ready. The fourth thing is I want you to identify how you want to be seen. There's a little exercise. So what I mean here is, let's say that you meet a complete stranger. You have a great conversation with them, and then afterwards, off they go on their merry little way, but they meet up with a friend, and they are describing you to a friend of theirs. Now, they can't remember your name, but they do use 3 words to describe you. What would you want those 3 words to be? And then I want you to think, how would that look? You see, when I was 21, I knew that I needed to look more competent and professional if I was going to be successful and get them to look past the 21-year-old baby face with a goatee beard on it. So I became very deliberate about how I presented myself and how I interacted with others. So in saying this, people are going to worry, well, this is inauthentic. No, it's not. It's not about being fake. It's about working on becoming the best version of you. And this final one I've found to be really powerful, especially when I'm up on stage, and that is to be okay with joking about yourself. Now, you don't want to do this in a really derogatory way. However, if you're able to just not take yourself too seriously, and that means not take yourself too seriously at the right time, people will naturally be drawn towards you. Now, even though I live in Australia now, I often make fun of the fact that I'm English when I'm speaking up on stage, and it creates a connection between me and the audience. They see that I don't take myself too seriously, and they're more willing to feel a connection towards me. So with all of these things, choose 1 or 2, and then work on that for a month or so. You will not watch this and overnight become this confident and charismatic superhuman. Making these things part of who you are, it does take time. But if you just get a little bit better every single day, you'll be surprised how much you grow in just a few months. So if you've enjoyed this video, then please, you know what to do. Give it a little like below. Love to hear your comments as well. I'll see you in a future video.